What is going on, guys? Jack here and welcome back to another episode of the Portsmouth Career Mode series. This is episode number 38. We're going to start today's episode off by having a little look at the injury list. We can see there that Hong Chul has been injured. He's got a sprained ankle. That means he's going to be out for 9 days, and that is a big blow. Even though it's for 9 days, he's going to miss some crucial matches, and matches that will probably decide whether or not we'll win the title or not. So that is a real shame that he did get injured, but hopefully when he does come back he can prove his worth and get us some good results. But I just want to thank you guys for all the support that you gave me on the last episode. We managed to hit over 50 likes, and if we could do the same on this video, that would be greatly appreciated, and it will show me that you are enjoying this series. But we're having a little look at the squad report for this month. We've got a few players that are starting to grow, and as always, if you do want to see any players that have grown in this month's squad report and all their stats to go with it, then of course feel free to pause the video. But we do have some players growing very nicely, but also some players that aren't growing whatsoever, such as Tyrone Mings, Ben Purrington, we've got Ledson as well, and we've also got Saido Berahino as well as Ryan Woods as well. So there's quite a few players in the side that are doing well for the team, but just aren't growing whatsoever, and it is quite infuriating because I did spend some money on these guys and I expect them, they're putting in performances, they're doing well, I expect them to be growing, and unfortunately they're not growing. Jack Watmer's up to 62 overall, so maybe he's a player that we will use as a reserve centre back alongside Browning next season. We'll have to wait and see as we go into the first game of this episode. It's going to be against Peterborough here, and it's going to be a very interesting one in the rain on Legendary, of course. Peterborough, they do have a very good side, and of course they have a striker that I was actually trying to go in for at the beginning of the season, I think it was, or was it in the January transfer window? Well, I think it was both actually, and in the end we did decide to go for Max Clayton. They are sitting in 12th position at the moment, which is quite surprising considering they are actually a pretty decent side. They've got some good players in there. Of course, Luke James is their talisman that I almost stole off of them in January. And they are playing a 5 at the backside, so it's going to be very fun in this game, especially in the rain as well. I can imagine they'll be parking the bus, going on the counter-attack, and just waiting for me to make a mistake. And in the 12th minute here, they were doing exactly that. I thought that the ball had gone out of play there, but they'd actually managed to keep it in, and as they cross it into the middle, I have no idea where Gurria was, where Jason Gurria was. I have no idea. He wasn't in plain sight there. I don't know what he was doing there, but Luke James was all open. He was onside, and all he had to do was just get some connection on that, and he'd put it into the back of the net and make it 1-0 there. Very disappointing, but it would only take a few minutes before we'd get a chance of our own. Some really lovely passing play here as Wallace finds Maxwell Cornet inside the box, and he manages to beat Ben Olnwick and put it into the back of the net and make it 1-0 and level up the game here. A really nice goal from Maxwell Cornet, and again, the passing play. This time it's not Jed Wallace, although he did give the assist there. In the last episode, Jed Wallace scored a lovely goal off of some lovely passing play, and I have to say, passing play really does work well against the Legendary AI, proving it there once again that it really is effective against this very difficult opponent. I have to say, I'm still getting used to Legendary AI, and it can be very difficult sometimes, especially when things like this happen to you. It's really out of your control. I mean, Yun Young-sun, he tries to clear it away with his head. It's a bad clearance. It falls to Payne, and they are going to punish you every single time. When you're in that situation, you just know it's going to be a goal straight away. They're going to tuck it away no matter what the angle is. They're going to find a way to put it into the back of the net, and I have to say, Luke James again, maybe I did make a little bit of a mistake because he scored 2 goals against us, and those 2 goals mean that we don't pick up a single point in this match against Peterborough. Even at home, we can't even get a single point, and it's very disappointing. A game with very few chances, and Luke James was very clinical in this game. He tucked away the only 2 chances that Peterborough did have. We had 1 shot on target, and Peterborough had 2 shots on target, so clearly there Luke James is a bit of a starlet for Peterborough, and that probably explains why they wanted a lot of money for him in January. They wanted about 1.5 million, I think it was. In the end, I was almost going to go through with a deal worth 1.2 million, but I decided to go with the little bit cheaper Max Clayton in the end. He is a player that I did have last year, and he has impressed me so far in the games that he has played. As we go into this game here against Preston North End, and they are a side that are probably looking to get into the playoffs. They're currently sitting in 7th, and that is probably their aim for this season. If they can get get into the playoffs. That is probably their biggest aim. I don't know if they're going to do it. If they get a result against us today, even a draw, that might help them along the way in trying to get to the playoffs. They're not currently in that, but maybe they will get to the playoffs. We'll have to wait and see. But you see, in this game, the first chance does come to us in the 13th minute. And Ryan Woods, playing at right mid, had a really good chance there. And he puts it wide. If that was Jed Wallace, I'm pretty sure he would have at least put it on target. Or maybe even into the back of the net. That was a horrific miss. And they almost score a really nice goal here. A really lovely curling shot there. Lovely little finesse shot. Almost into the back of the net. But unfortunately for them, they couldn't quite put it into the back of the net. They were having the majority of chances in this game though. Another one here would come as they pass it off. And I have to say, they are just so good at passing, the legendary AI. Luckily for me, Tom Heaton was on hand to make a save there. And luckily, we do manage to clear that one away. But we managed to get a free kick in the 58th minute. And of course, I was going to give it to Hong Chul. Will he be able to score his first free kick for us? Well, unfortunately, he hits the outside of the post there. And that was a really, really good chance. I'm not actually that good at free kicks this year. Even though free kicks are so easy, I've hardly scored any. I think I've scored one with Hong Chul before. I think I actually have. And I also scored one with Zivkovic last season. So I'm alright at free kicks, but I'm not the best. I probably do need to improve that area of my game if I'm going to basically take my chances from those dead ball situations. But in the 86th minute, we get another good chance. Matt Clayton finds a nil more pay as he gets a rare gap in between the Preston and North End defenders. But unfortunately, it was a tame shot, easily saved by the keeper. And in the end, we come away with a 0-0 draw. It was a very uneventful game again. But this time, there was actually no goals. So, although there was a lot of chances, this time there were no goals. And it was a very even game, I have to say. It did deserve to be a draw. Whether that be 0-0 or 1-0, it really doesn't matter. It deserved to be a draw. And that means we've only got 1 point from 2 games so far. And considering we're top of the league, that's not good enough. It really isn't good enough. As we go into the 3rd game of today's episode, there are going to be 4 games in today's episode, and this is the 3rd game against Sheffield United here. It's going to be very, very difficult to pick up a win because they do actually have a pretty young, good and decent side. They are sitting in 4th, so promotion is really odds on for them. And of course, they are, well, they're chasing for the title, but they're not going to get there. I think our only rivals at the moment are Warsaw. Luckily for us, Warsaw aren't doing too well in the league currently as well, so clearly the teams that are top of the league aren't doing too good, but Sheffield, they are creeping up on us, so we do need to get a good result here. Whether that be a draw, again, I don't think it should be a draw. I think we should be picking up a win in this match. Considering we haven't actually got a win in ages, I think we do need to get a win, and it would be a shame if we actually drop all 3 points here. But there wasn't too many chances in the first half. That was a good chance there for them, but Tom Heaton easily saved that shot. And he wasn't really troubled too much in this game. And then I thought, yeah, why not make some substitutions? This is what I usually do. Put Funso Ojo at CDM and try Dele Alli at central attacking midfielder. And unfortunately for me, as soon as I made those substitutions, they went on and literally a second later they scored. So that was a pretty poor decision from me, making substitutions at that point in time, because they went on to score after I'd made the substitutions and there was no way I was recovering from that position. I'd literally just come off the menus expecting just to be able to clear it away or just defend properly, but literally a second later they managed to put it into the back of the net and I was just shell shocked at that point in time. We get a good chance here with Jordan Ibe in the 65th minute and somehow we can't even turn in the rebound. Matt Clayton couldn't quite get there. The defender got in front of him just in time. Jordan Ibe hit the post and very unlucky indeed there. They get another chance in the 87th minute and I'm surprised they put that one over the bar. That was a really good chance. A free header for McNulty, but he put it over the bar and it was a good save initially from Tom Heaton. He really did keep us in this game. Had it not been for him, it probably would have been 1-2, maybe even 3-0, let alone just 1-0. But we end up losing the game. We're really not having a good time this episode. We haven't even picked up a single, well, we picked up a point in the last game, but we haven't got a single win yet. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's obviously a dark hour for us, really, because we're looking to pick up the title. And those title hopes are slowly fading away as Warsaw slowly catch up with us. And I really do hope that in the final game of today's episode, we can actually do a little bit better. Against MK Dons, we are hoping that we can take some revenge after taking their player Dele Alli off of them. And of course, they are sitting in 19th place, which does mean we have a really good chance. But for some reason, I really struggle against teams that aren't doing so well in the league, but the teams that are doing well in the league, I do well against. It's really, really strange. I don't get how it works, but obviously there's something in there that means that maybe it's because they're just trying to get points. They're going very attacking and pressing, whereas they seem to sit back if they're doing better in the league, as they know that they really want to just pick up a 0-0 draw if possible. That was a really good chance there in the 5th minute. I have to just point that out. And again, nothing is going into the back of the net. We're having one of those deadlock periods where we just can't even put the ball into the back of the net. And on another day right there, that probably would have been a goal. Neil Morpay probably would have got there before the defender did. And unfortunately, just things weren't going my way this episode, and it continued throughout this game as well as the other games. I mean, it was very, very difficult for me to even get a shot on goal again. The defender, just unbelievable block there from the header. It's just unbelievable how these teams are just defending so well, and I'm just not able to put the ball into the back of the net. Another good chance here as Polyak shoots from distance. It's saved again, and somehow we don't turn in the rebound. We have another shot, and that is blocked this time. It's just unbelievable. We are having so many chances in the game, but we just weren't able to put it into the back of the net. I couldn't understand it. This was probably the best chance of the game though by far. Tata going through one-on-one, and this time the goalkeeper makes a save again. Unbelievable. In the end, we draw 0-0, and we haven't even picked up a single win in this episode, so that's not really good whatsoever. But this will be the end of the video, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed, and if you have enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already, as it really does help out my channel, guys, and it shows me that you are enjoying this series. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna have to leave it there, and I'll see you next time for another video. Thanks for watching.
There's no color to be found.